Welcome back, Super Friends. What's the hubbub this time? It's going to be a day of Superman full trailer discussion and reactions around the globe. The journey to get here seems like an eternity. Yet eyes to the skies, here we are.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Sure.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some might. It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny.
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of the United States.
I wasn't representing anybody except for me.
Around the world.
And doing good.
The first thing I notice about the trailer is color. I feel we have had such desaturated superhero movies lately. I enjoyed Captain America: Brave New World more than some. Also, I like Thunderbolts overall. Something, though, has been missing from the genre: vibrancy, bold comic book, like colors translating to film. This is almost jarring to some fans of the genre, who are not used to such a rich color palette. Be honest, SnyderBros, while some of the Man of Steel scenes were beautiful, by the time we got into Batman vs. Superman, it became fitting Superman into the world of Batman for the DCEU. They were banking on Batfleck as the center of it. This turned into gritty, dark warehouse settings constantly. Also, I noticed Lex is very much in line with Rosenbaum of Smallville and the animated series version. I could say the same for what we've seen of Superman and Lois as well. Looking at Hammer Time, no, not your father's hammer. The Hammer of Boravia is a new villain character introduced in the movie.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
The character's name is a reference to the fictional European kingdom of Boravia from DC Comics, which experienced a civil war. There has been a lot of speculation on his identity. Some have thought it's a Lex battlesuit. I've even considered Maxwell Lord drone technology. Others believe it could be a related version to Ultraman. We shall see. James Gunn is forging his own path with a distinct and vibrant approach to the new Superman movie and the DCU. The earliest complaints since the teaser footage leading into this full trailer have been the VFX, which will be fine-tuned up until release. Personally, to an earlier point, I believe fans and even normies are adjusting to rich color again on screen. It's so much easier to have CGI in dark worlds. The composition work is less time-consuming in those. So with Gunn depicting a colorful, vibrant comic book world, he really pulled in the big guns for his team. I have no doubts the VFX is improved already and will be even better in the July theatrical release. Story-wise, there is a lot to unpack here. This is Superman apparently a bit younger and learning his role in the universe of superheroes. It's a world where they already exist, but are sanctioned by corporate entities. Superman breaks out into his own, perhaps overstepping his bounds to what the government finds acceptable. Lois even pushes back in what he thinks is a home field advantage of an interview. We're going to see him growing into the premier superhero, showing a different way to be the protector of the Earth. As far as reactions early on, the worst reaction, I think of even failing to be on a human level, was from harsh critics. The deranged tangent is outlandish. Really, over not having Snyder
looks like
back,
one of the Coneheads.
you'll go on a rant about how ugly the cast is?
Remember the Coneheads with Dan Aykroyd? He looks like a Conehead. So, but this is James Gunn casting. I think all these characters are miscast. And let's talk about the Kents. They look like they look like they're in a senior citizen home. They look like they're the great grandparents of Clark Kent. These people look like they're just too damn old. They look like they should have died centuries ago.
Yikes.
I don't really know her like that, but she's an ugly Lois Lane. She has a big ass forehead. In some scenes, like that, the picture they posted last week, she's pale. Like, she's pale. There's no color to her. And she's just an ugly Lois Lane. She has the big ass. What sticks out to me is her big ass forehead.
You are talking about for heads when you sport a 5-head yourself, Harsh.
She's an ugly Lois Lane, y'all.
Grace Randolph seemed to like the trailer much more than expected.
That's really fascinating. Okay, so here's my observation. As a comic book reader, I think it looks pretty good. When it's particularly focused on being a Superman movie, I think it's its strongest. And I wish that James Gunn hadn't tried to put so many other elements in there. I wish he'd trusted himself just to tell a Superman story, and not to feel that would be a just. Because I think he's done an excellent job with the main Superman characters. I think when he tries to bring in the other characters, that's when the James Gunnisms start to come in, and it doesn't feel like Superman. On that note, if you read Superman comics these days, and Lord, I try, they're trying. They have a new Superman comic book come out like every other month right now because they're trying to get you to read a Superman comic, and it's not going so well. I'm sure some of you can point to some of the sales, but I don't think anyone's particularly excited about any of the Superman comics that are coming out. That said, I did order the new, Unlimited Superman with Dan Slott writing and that American Vampire artist. I'm like, I'll try it again. I'll keep trying. You keep trying. I'll keep trying. But the reason I bring up the comics is that Superman comics have a tough time themselves. Superman is a very difficult character to write for, particularly when you have to do an ongoing and you try to make the character a little modern. I actually like the stuff that they're doing with social media there quite a bit. With the press, maybe because that's like the space that I live in. So I'm like, oh, I thought that was funny with Miss Tessmacher taking an Instagram selfie or whatever with Superman in the background. I thought the Lois interviewing bit was great.
A debate broke out on the John Compeer show.
What's happening here? Because the imagery is great, and I love, by the way, I also love the way the movie's shot.
Rob felt the movie will be good, but didn't like the balance as a trailer itself.
I do love the color scheme. I do think how it looks is going to be spectacular on screen. So I loved all that, but I was a little underwhelmed I wanted to feel more from it. I wanted it to be more mythic. And I think this trailer specifically didn't do, because Superman Returns and Man of Steel had very similar trailers. This was very different, and I think that's why they opened with the interview. I just wanted a little bit more of a sense of the kind of movie that we're going to get. And that's what I was missing. Everything else I liked, but I felt this was a little ordinary, if that's the right word.
Oh, God. John felt it delivered perfectly, so we finally know what the story will center on. I tend to feel like it's all a lead up into a final trailer 3 as well.
Oh God, I can't disagree with you more.
I know.
Like they all hit us in different ways, but like for me, like I know exactly, like, you know me, I often get frustrated with trailers if they don't give us any sense of what the movie's about. But to me, this trailer did give us that. This is a Superman who is struggling to figure out his place in this world, and the world struggling to figure out what is Superman's role. And there's clearly conflict there about what Superman
Sure, but I wanted to hear from they show Frank Grillo, and give us a little pushback. What does the government think of what Superman did? Somebody
we
tell
did
us.
get that from Lois Lane though. Like we got that, but they didn't have to double down on that because Lois Lane already kind of made it clear what everybody else's opinion is. You went there, a representative of the U.S. I'm not a representative of the U.S. You didn't have any authority to go there. So they already kind of gave us that position.
Yeah, but it would have been bigger. It would have broadened the scope if we heard from more people.
The trailer's already almost 3 minutes long. I don't think we needed to hear it from more.
Well, there's still going to be.
They gave us that scape. What's that, Jonathan?
I think there's still going to be a third trailer
Yeah, there will be.
No,
and
yeah,
it's gonna
for
push
sure.
the
There's going
narrative
to be a
even
third
further.
trailer. 100% there is. But like with the whole notion too of then, so we got that whole thing is now all set up, that this is a world that is not yet completely comfortable and fully understanding of what Superman's role is, and a Superman who doesn't understand completely how he's supposed to interact with the world that he's in. But then at the same time, we started to get the Lex point of view. Everybody's talking about this Superman. He's hijacking the conversation. Not anymore. We see him breaking into the Fortress of Solitude. I don't know, man. I'm the one who's usually saying you need to give me an idea about what this movie's about. I came out of this trailer feeling I had a nice, basic, thematic idea about what this movie's about. Now, obviously, we are going to get more details as we get into trailer 3, but I'll tell you what, you and I see that scene in that interview night and day differently. To me, that's with his chat with Lois, him getting increasingly frustrated about the fact that, like, why is it so hard to just everybody agree we should do the right thing, and getting frustrated? That's the moment that sold me like completely on it. But you saw it differently.
And I felt I lean towards John on this, and I felt like the reason why he did get frustrated because he's saying, "My God, even you, Lois, who have a thing, and you're not seeing through the cynical like way of life. Like, what is this?" You know?
I know, but that's why I think that he would be able to. I don't know. It just struck me, as, and that's how they start the trailer.
You think Superman should just be this cold, like
no, but I think that they should. That's a moment to build up to his frustration. And if you saw, like we've seen so much of this world. I mean, it was all Mr. Terrific. It was all Hawkgirl. It was all these other characters. And I would like to know more about if this world is filled with superheroes. Why is it that only Superman's being held accountable?
Because they're all sanctioned like government workers.
Are they?
I think so.
I mean, I don't know.
I think they're all under the Mr. What's his name? Mr. what? Terrific? Mr.
Maxwell Lord.
There's a name. There's a name of the
all
company
like
they're all working with.
I think we find ourselves in a world where it's like corporate overlords, government overlords.
Because they're all in matching costume. They're all in matching uniforms, right?
To pack a final punch to unify more of the fan segments, if there is a trailer 3, it's got to be up by second week of June. I'll be interested to see if that gets confirmed. Let's look at the flight pattern for this film. The Superman Legacy movie, later retitled to just Superman, was announced on January 31st, 2023. The film will focus on the younger years of Superman's life, with David Corenswet playing the role and Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor. David Corenswet was cast as Superman in DC Studios' upcoming film Superman Legacy on June 27th, 2023. The news came alongside the announcement that Rachel Brosnahan would be portraying Lois Lane. This marked the official start of the new DC Universe, DCEU, under James Gunn and Peter Safran. Nicholas Hoult was cast as Lex Luthor in James Gunn's Superman Legacy on November 20th, 2023. The news was officially confirmed by director James Gunn on Instagram. While not an origin story, Superman will feature Clark Kent, depicted as an inexperienced reporter at the Daily Planet. James Gunn is writing and directing the film, which is part of his larger vision for the DC Universe. The film was initially titled Superman Legacy, but was later changed to Superman on the first day of filming. He's aiming for a more vibrant and energetic style, contrasting with Snyder's darker and desaturated aesthetic. You'll see SnyderBros ignore Nolanized, Man of Steel having inspiration from Batman Begins and callbacks to Smallville and Donner's Superman, while at the same time they'll compare these trailer scenes to what Snyder did. Hello McFly Gunn has given us clues in the original title of Legacy. He's using past Superman takes of many kinds, including Snyder's, in order to revamp while respecting the past. He's going to look up, not back. Gunn is taking fresh story angles at existing Superman motifs, whether from Donner, comics, animated, Snyder, Smallville, and others. He is tackling criticisms the character has faced in many of these. Superman can't rip off Superman. It's all interrelated. Imagery is always going to exist that has similarities. When a man can fly and is an alien that grew up on a farm, yes, Kryptonian heritage is going to be reconciled. Life in Smallville that made him Clark, and who he is as a man, will be covered. It's not ripping off anything. It's exploring the character in a new take. Gunn himself has stated that he wants to create a Superman who's driven by compassion and an inherent belief in the goodness of humankind. Gunn is collaborating with cinematographer Henry Brum, who is known for his meticulous attention to detail. They're using different camera equipment, including the Red V-Raptor, which delivers high resolution and vibrant colors. This contrasts with some of the tools and techniques Snyder has utilized in his past work, such as a more restrained color palette. Gunn has emphasized his commitment to ensuring the film has quality visual effects, working with companies like Weta, Framestore, and Industrial Light and Magic. He has also said that he ensures sufficient post-production time is allocated for visual effects, indicating a focus on well-crafted visuals that align with his vision. As always, look up, not back. Keep your eyes to the skies. We will fly in color this July. Take care of yourselves and other super friends.